Hello and welcome all of you to today's lecture. In the last two lectures, we have started the first topic of our syllabus, Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics. In that, we have discussed what is microeconomics, definitions of microeconomics, and the scope of microeconomics. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the features of microeconomics and the next point, that is importance of microeconomics, we are going to discuss. So, let's start with the first point. Features of microeconomics. First point is study of individual units. What is meant by individual units is that in microeconomics we study of only a single thing. Okay, what is meant by a single thing? It can be a single customer, it can be a single producer, it can be a single industry, it can be a single firm. All these things are known as the individual units. Out of the total units or out of the total economy, we select only few things, or we can say that only one thing, and then study about that particular thing. For example, if we selected one consumer or one customer, how he behaves in the given situation, what are his demands, how he demands the goods and services, what on which things his demand depends. All these things are considered in the microeconomics when we study about the individual units, individual price, individual customer, individual seller, individual firm, individual industry. All these things are studied in the microeconomics. So it is the first feature of microeconomics in which we study individual units. Then let's move to the second point, that is price theory. Okay, what is meant by price theory is that in microeconomics, especially, we are concerned with the determination of the prices of goods and services, and factors of production. In microeconomics especially, we are concerned with the determination of prices of goods and services and factors of production. There are millions of goods and services produced in the country, and how the prices of those goods and services produced, we have to discuss in the microeconomics. That is why it is called as the price theory. And with the goods and services, the prices of factors of production, there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. And how the rewards or the prices of those four factors of production are determined, that is the study of microeconomics. So microeconomics is also called as the price theory. So this is also a feature of microeconomics. Then we come to the next point, that is partial equilibrium. Okay, now this point is very important. Partial equilibrium means in microeconomics we discuss about the individual units and the equilibrium of the individual units. What is meant by equilibrium is that it is the balance between two forces. It is the balance between two forces is known as the partial equilibrium. And in microeconomics we discuss about this partial equilibrium. Partial means in parts, for the single customer, for the single seller, or in any economy for a single unit. That is known as the partial equilibrium. For example, how the prices are determined for one commodity, that is also called as the partial equilibrium. And in economics, the prices are determined by two forces: demand and supply. Now what we will do here, we will assume all the things constant and discuss about the only one commodity, how the prices of that only one commodity is determined. And when demand and supply is in balance, okay, what does this mean? Demand is equal to supply, that is called as demand and supply are in balance, and at that time the prices will be determined. How it will be determined, we will discuss in the coming topics, okay, when we will discuss the consumer's behavior and producer's behavior. So in microeconomics we discuss about this partial equilibrium of the small units or individual units in the economy. Then next point is based on certain assumptions. Okay, what is meant by assumption is that in the given situation we assume some things as remaining constant. Okay, what is meant by this assumption is that assumption का मतलब क्या होता है, कुछ चीजें ऐसी होंगी जिसको हम assumed to be constant कहेंगे, मतलब उनको हम कांस्टेंट है ऐसा कहेंगे, और फिर उनके आधार पर बाकी के जो सारे हमारे इकोनॉमिक्स की थ्योरी है उन थ्योरीज के बारे में हम डिस्कशन करेंगे. ओके, बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन assumption. What is that assumption we will discuss here? Ceteris paribus. What is meant by this ceteris paribus is that it means other things remaining constant. In economics and especially in microeconomics, this assumption of ceteris paribus is very important in each and every law. Like it can be a law of demand, law of supply, law of diminishing marginal utility, which we are going to study in the next topics. For all these laws, this assumption of ceteris paribus is very important. Other things remaining constant. Which are the other things? For example, government policy, market structure, laissez-faire policy, then prices of other commodities. All these things are assumed to remain constant. Why it is so? Because if these things changes, what will happen? There will be the effect on the demand and supply of the commodity or the utility of the commodity. Okay, that is why we assume all these things constant. ये सारी चीजों को हम क्या कहते हैं? Constant है ऐसा बोलते हैं. अगर ये हमेशा बदलती रहेगी तो क्या होगा? जो हमारे इकोनॉमिक्स के लॉ हैं वो लॉ ठीक से काम नहीं कर पाएंगे. इसीलिए हम उसको क्या करते हैं? Assume to be constant. Okay, next point. Slicing method. What is mean by slice? Slice का मतलब क्या होता है? छोटे छोटे हिस्सों में डिवाइड करना. Okay, माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स जो है, इन दी माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स वी डिस्कस not about the total economy or aggregate units, but we discuss about the individual units. Means we divide the economy into small parts and then discuss about the particular thing in detail. Okay, it can be a single customer out of millions of customers. It can be a single firm out of lakhs of firms. It can be a single seller out of lakhs of sellers. We divide, or we can say that we isolate that particular thing and then discuss about that particular thing in detail. That is why microeconomics is called as the slicing method. It means in this method we divide the economy into small slices and then study about it in detail. Then next one, use of marginalism principle. What is meant by this use of marginalism principle? I will call this marginalism principle as the most important principle in the microeconomics. Why it is most important principle? Because all the laws in the economics are based on this particular marginalism principle. So coming to this point, what is mean by marginal? Marginal का मतलब क्या होता है? It is change brought in total. Change brought in total by an additional unit. By an additional unit. Okay, टोटल जो है उस टोटल में चेंज किस तरह से आएगा जब कोई एक चीज बदलेगी, मतलब एक चीज उसमें ऐड होगी. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मार्जिनल. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल यू विल कॉल इट, टेक हियर यूटिलिटी. इन यूटिल्स, यूटिलिटी को हमेशा यूटिल्स में मेजर किया जाता है, और यहाँ पे कमोडिटी लेंगे. ओके, कौन सी कमोडिटी लेना है हमें? फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू विल टेक दी मैंगोज. ओके, जब मैंने पहला मैंगो कंज्यूम किया उस समय मुझे टोटल यूटिलिटी कितनी मिली? यहाँ पे हम टोटल यूटिलिटी मेजर करेंगे. टोटल यूटिलिटी मुझे मिली सपोज 10. ओके, जब मैंने दूसरा मैंगो कंज्यूम किया मुझे टोटल यूटिलिटी मिली 18. जब मैंने तीसरा मैंगो कंज्यूम किया मुझे टोटल यूटिलिटी मिली सपोज 24. ओके, नाउ हमें क्या करना है यहाँ पे? व्हाट वी हैव टू डू? वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी और द एक्स्ट्रा यूटिलिटी वी गेट फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर कंजम्पशन. हियर वी विल कैलकुलेट मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी का मतलब क्या होता है? जब हम कोई एक चीज और कंज्यूम करेंगे उसमें हमें कितना यूटिलिटी मिलने वाला है उसको हम क्या कहते हैं, मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी। तो जब मैंने पहला मैंगो कंज्यूम किया मुझे यूटिलिटी कितनी मिली, 10, इट विल बी द सेम मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी। जब मैंने दूसरा यूनिट कंज्यूम किया मेरी टोटल यूटिलिटी कितनी है, 18, लेकिन मेरी जो मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी होगी, मतलब यूटिलिटी कितनी बढ़ी, टोटल में हमने कितना बढ़ाया, हियर इट इज 8, then in next point it is 6. This is called as marginal utility. The utility we derive from the extra unit of consumption. Definition क्या है, change brought in total, change brought in total by an additional unit. total कितना था 10, change कितना हुआ 8, that will be called as the marginal utility. और इसी तरह से इकोनॉमिक्स जो है उसमें marginal utility, marginal cost, ये जो सारी कंसेप्ट है इसको कैलकुलेट किया जाता है. So this concept is very important in microeconomics. Then next one, analysis of market structure. There are various types of markets. Okay, for example, perfect competition, then monopoly, then oligopoly. These are the types of markets, and there are other types of markets also which we are going to discuss in the coming topics. Okay, this microeconomics helps us in analysis of market structure. Okay, what type of market is there, what is meant by perfect competition? There are large number of buyers and large number of sellers, that is known as perfect competition. Then monopoly, single seller, large number of buyers. Oligopoly, large sellers coming together and forming an union for the market, that is known as oligopoly. So what type of market situation is there, that is the thing analyzed in the microeconomics. So that is also a feature of microeconomics where we try to understand the market structure. And the last feature of the microeconomics is limited scope. Okay, what is meant by limited scope is that in the microeconomics we do not study about the total national thing, okay, or total national economy. We discuss about only the individual units, single units. That is why the study of microeconomics is limited, the scope of microeconomics is limited. We do not study about the national problems like unemployment, price, inflation. We do not study about that things. We study about the only individual things like individual demand, individual supply, all these things. That is why the scope of microeconomics is very limited. So these are the points of features of microeconomics. Now we will go to the next point, that is importance of microeconomics. After the features, next point is here, importance of microeconomics. I will write with this pen. Importance of microeconomics. First point is price determination. In the determination of prices of goods and services, microeconomics is very important. That is why the first importance point is we can say that price determination. Okay, we know that there are lots of goods and services available and 4 factors of production available: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. So how the prices of goods and services and the factors of production are determined, that is the thing discussed in the microeconomics. So this microeconomics is very important in the determination of prices of goods and services and factors of production. Then free market economy. This point is very important. Free market economy. What does this mean? What is meant by free market economy is that in simple language, if you want to define, it is such an economy in which there is no control of the government, or there is very less control of the government. That is known as free market economy. For example, economy of United States of America. We can call this economy as the total free market economy because there is very less control of the government on the economic activities, and all the decisions related to what to produce, how to produce, when to produce, where to produce and how to distribute. All these decisions are taken at the individual level. That is why it is known as free market economy. And this microeconomics tries to analyze all the market free market economy. मतलब free market economy किस तरह से काम करता है उसको एनालिसिस करने का काम माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स में किया जाता है. एंड देयर इज नो गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन और वेरी लेस गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन इन द इकोनॉमी. that is the free market economy. Third point here is that foreign trade. In the foreign trade also, microeconomics is very important. What is meant by foreign trade? Trade with the other countries. Okay, in that foreign trade, microeconomics plays a very crucial role. How it plays a very crucial role? First thing, when the government imposes some tax, the tax is called as tariff on the international trade. For example, suppose we are importing one commodity from the foreign countries. At that time, the government will impose some tax, and that tax will be called as the tariff. Suppose the government has imposed 20% tariff on any commodity. How much? 20% tariff is imposed by the government on any commodity. Then what will be the effect of this 20% tariff on the commodity? That is the thing discussed in the microeconomics. That is why microeconomics is very important in the foreign trade also. Then in the determination of exchange rate. Exchange rate of money. Okay, for example, $1 is equal to 70 rupees. Okay, this is called as exchange rate. And how this exchange rate is determined, that is the thing analyzed in the microeconomics. So in the determination of exchange rate also, tariff also, microeconomics plays a very fundamental role or important role. So this is also an importance of microeconomics. Then next one, economic model building. What is mean by model? Model means a simplified representation of reality. Simplified presentation or representation of reality. There are various complex situations available in the economy at any time. कौन सी भी इकोनॉमी हो, उस इकोनॉमी में बहुत सारी कॉम्प्लेक्स सिचुएशंस अवेलेबल रहती है. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू एक्सप्लेन ऑल दीज कॉम्प्लेक्स सिचुएशन एट वन पॉइंट. दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव टू बिल्ड सम मॉडल्स. Okay, for example, model of demand, model of supply, all these things are called as the models in the economy, and those models are we can say that derived for the analysis of the economy in the simple language. That is why in the model building also microeconomics is very important, and that microeconomics have derived various terms, terminologies for the analysis of the economic system. Okay, जो economic system है उसके analysis के लिए बहुत सारी terms, बहुत सारी terminologies जो है वो microeconomics में derive की गई है. कौन सी terms होगी वो? Demand होगा, supply होगा, utility होगा, marginal utility होगा, कॉस्ट होगा. ये जो सारी की सारी टर्मिनोलॉजीज है, ये टर्मिनोलॉजीज भी माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स ने ही हमें दी हुई है. तो मॉडल बिल्डिंग में माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स का सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस होता हुआ हमें देखने को मिलता है. देन उसके बाद का जो पॉइंट है वो पॉइंट होगा बिजनेस डिसीजन. बिजनेस डिसीजंस. In taking various business decisions, okay, what are the business decisions? For example, price of the commodity, price of product we will call it as. Then marketing strategy, how to market the produced commodities, how to produce the commodities. All these things are known as the market decisions, and in taking those market decisions microeconomics is very important. Then next one, useful to government. जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट है उस गवर्नमेंट को भी बहुत ज्यादा जो माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स है वो हेल्प करता है. लाइक डिसीजंस रिलेटेड टू टैक्सेस, decisions related to how to spend the money generated by the taxes. All these decisions are taken on the basis of microeconomics. That is why microeconomics is also very important in the government decision making and for the welfare of the society. This economics is very important. And here last point is basis of welfare economics. What is mean by welfare? लोगों का भला करना. इसको अगर हम सिंपल लैंग्वेज में डिफाइन करना चाहेंगे तो उसको हम क्या कह सकते हैं? लोगों का भला करना. In this welfare economics, what is studied here is that the maximization of the output or maximization of the production with the available resources is studied in the welfare economics. So in welfare economics also microeconomics is very important. Here we analyze how to produce the commodities, or we analyze here the maximum production of commodities. It is called as the optimum utilization of resources. What is meant by optimum utilization of resources? Maximum possible utilization of resources is called as optimum utilization of resources. And in explaining this optimum utilization also, microeconomics is very important. And in the determination of taxes also, microeconomics is very important. So these are the points of importance of microeconomics. Here we will stop, and in the next lecture we will start with the macroeconomics. Thank you very much.